Yeah, this is Black Light, talking about that Motown sound, talking about ELiJAH, the Motown sound, the Big Three Auto, Temple #1. In that entertainment world, you had some brothers that were Muslims over at Motown, and some of them was in the Four Tops. You had some in the Temptations. Trying to think of who else, what other groups. There was a lot of groups, different groups had Muslim influence, FOI influence in there. Stevie Wonder, used to see Stevie Wonder at the meetings, you know. Uh, then you had those brothers over in Philadelphia, the Philly sound. You had the Delphonics. Who else you had? I can't think of all the brothers over there, but the teachers influenced some of that music too. Uh, so I know what's that brother, Joe Tex. Yeah, yeah, he was a Muslim. Joe Tex. I think Sam Cooke was leaning towards that way with him and Muhammad Ali. I know James Brown was digging on the teachings, and who else? Now Snoop Dogg was over there in modern times, recent times, and just about all the rappers are 5%ers, or either uh, God's what they say, God's and earth or something to that effect. But I just, it's new to me because I used to just call them the Nation of 5%ers. With Brother Clarence X, and, his influence was that of the Nation of Islam or ELiJAH or Master Farad. And a lot of Muslims, John Coltrane, Miles even, was digging on the teaching. Miles Davis. A lot of entertainers are Muslims, but that it's a thin line between that and the gangsters, because you got to perform in clubs. They serve alcohol. Your brothers and sisters buy that alcohol, which is served up by the Caucasian. He didn't want to produce it. Then you got the drugs. They bring them over here. Don't nobody twist your arm and make you take them, but make you drink. But if you go into the clubs, you're going to hear the sounds, And that's where most of these street people hang out at. In the clubs, popping bottles, turning up, how y'all see it nowadays, but, So music, got that street thing, but it's also got that gangster thing overriding it. And a lot of brothers quit singing and performing. Mr. Farrakhan was a musician. a performer, and he quit doing it. And a lot of brothers didn't. But it's a hard thing, you know, when you got that talent and you want to display that talent, and the only way you can go is to gangster, you know, through the gangsters. It's deep, you know. And that music influences so many young people, the young generation. You know, what you got to say. And a big star like Stevie, you know, I don't know how long he was digging on Islam or the Nation of Islam, but he started, you know, singing some deep songs after a while. But he made it seem like it was a Christian influence. But he had a song about the black man, the history of the black man. Stevie Wonder did. So that gangster world also runs politics. It is said that the gangsters off Kennedy, you know. And people think the Illuminati and the gangsters are different. No, it's just different branches of the same tree. That's all. But the Illuminati is that branch you don't never see. You know, they the ones that throw the rock and hide the hand. They the hidden hand, see. They get other people to do their work, dirty work for them. So, over here in Detroit, the gangsters ran the big three in the unions. Maybe not the big three, but, you know, corporations are gangster orientated. They gangster orientated. They got their own little hit man. And then you got the union gangster orientated. You know, remember Hoffa? Oh, that's gangster, man. And what about who else I'm trying to think of? I think Ruther. But you know, the Bobby Kennedys and stuff, you know, they was going after the mafia and the unions. And Bobby Kennedy got off. Kennedy got off. You know. The same with King. King was in the boule and whatever, deep in it. And when he started hanging out with ELiJAH, then they off King. You know. You say, well, why didn't they never off ELiJAH? They tried. But see, ELiJAH had the Islamic world, man. He had a lot of Muslims, Middle Eastern Muslims, Orthodox Muslims. People say, well, they didn't believe that Master Farad was the man. They thought that Mustafa Muhammad was the man 1400 years ago. Yeah. But the real scholars and the ones that was deep into the Quranic studies knew that ELiJAH was on point. They knew about the black man being God. The Masons know about the black man being God. You know? Everybody knows except our own people. So when ELiJAH, you know, was telling us to separate, do for self, well, Barry Gordy and them, they couldn't separate because they was in both of two worlds. You know, they were doing for self, but that gangster had a hand in their pockets. That's how they roll. Anytime you do for self without them and you independent from them, well, they're going to threaten you. They're going to come and say, look, we want a piece of your pie. Because, see, this is their pie. America is their pie. We helped them build it, but it's their pie. They're not going to give you nothing but some crumbs. And if even that, you know. And everything we do, the black man do, you got to have that white man to validate all his actions and moves. If the white man don't validate the brother's action, then you can't be like ELiJAH, because he didn't have no validation from the white man. Not like that. Don't think they didn't try to offer him, you know, a couple of times, but he had some powerful protection, you know, some powerful protection. And it wasn't time for them to go to war with the entire Muslim world like they doing now, you know. So they got to Wallace. Ain't no other way to say it. They got to him. And that's the only way they could have, you know. But ELiJAH was gone then. And wasn't nobody strong enough after ELiJAH to resist. You know. And see, they had already got to some of the foreign-born Muslims over there in the Middle East. So Wallace teamed up with them. So we're not gonna keep on with this. So maybe one more, two more sessions of this, and to let you know Detroit and what role it plays. Black Light out.